Hello and welcome back to the Second Chance Live channel here on YouTube. I'm happy to see that you decided to stop by to watch this video presentation. Thank you. In today's video presentation, I'm going to be sharing an article that I wrote and published on Second Chance yesterday. I create video presentations of my articles for individuals who learn through watching and listening. To read the article, I'll put my glasses on and bring up the article. I want to thank you for your time. Here's the article. Instead, we can create our own genius. Living with limitations can leave you and me believing that we are stupid, but we do not have to fit into anyone's mold and thus feel stupid. Instead, we can create our own genius. Following a brain injury, what we were once able to accomplish or do now seems to be out of our reach. As a result, we may be focusing on why me and what is not. But the good news is that we can instead shift our thinking and attitude. We can see our circumstances through the eyes of why not me and what is. In my experience, I needed to grieve what I could not change, why me, and what is not, to see what could change, my mindset and my attitude, and start to see things through the eyes of why not me and what is. Here's several quotes that encourage me to look at and examine why not me and what is, and in the process create my own genius and develop my own creative capacity to express my genius. So here's the first quote. Everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. And that's by Albert Einstein. The next quote, I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work, by Thomas Edison. The next quote, every strike brings me closer to the next home run, by Babe Ruth. So these two quotes encourage me not to give up. And another quote encourages me not to give up in the process of developing my genius it is not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer, by Albert Einstein. And then the next quote, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. So again, we need to just stay with the process and maybe learn one skill a bazillion times as I need to, another skill a bazillion times, and then combine both of those skills into a skill set and repeat the process over and over again by combining skill sets together. And in the process, we're able to develop and create with our genius. And here's another quote that I like. If you advance confidently in the direction of your dreams and endeavor to live the life that you have imagined, you will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. And that's by Henry David Thoreau. I spent many years attempting through different academic and vocational paths to work in traditional employment. Each of these efforts and endeavors to succeed were met with one closed door after another. In my experience, when all of my diligent efforts resulted in closed doors, I was faced with two options. Option one, I could either give up, or option two, I could look for a way that would work for me. With my change of attitude, I began to realize that I no longer needed to be limited. Instead, I could discover the vastness of possibilities. I could learn how to use my creative genius. I am glad that I chose option two. To read about my backstory, option two, click on these two links, and I will include these links to these two parts, which is the backstory of Second Chance to Live and the description portion of this video presentation, so you could read, or I believe I also have video presentations of these two parts. So here's a question for all of us to consider, me too, as I continue to develop. What is your genius? And how can you develop confidence in your genius? Here's another couple quotes that I really like that encourage me to pursue my genius. Seek out that particular mental attribute which makes you feel deeply and vitally alive, along which comes the inner voice which says, this is the real me. And when you have found it, follow it, by James Truesdale Adams. The next quote is, Insist on yourself. Never imitate. Your own gift you can present every moment with the cumulative force of a whole life's cultivation. But of the adopted talent of another, you only have an extemporaneous half possession. Do that which is assigned to you, and you cannot hope too much or dare too much. By Ralph Waldo Emerson. And these are concepts that I pledge to each day as I develop my genius. Learn from and see my experience as an opportunity and a gift to learn, to empower my life, well-being, and relationships. See people, things, events, and situations from a glass full instead of a mindset or a half full glass or an empty glass, regardless of how things may look, people, places, or things may look. Determined to see people, things, events, and situations through the eyes of faith instead of through a or the prism of fear. And then stop straining, seeking, or striving to prove anything to anyone, including yourself, through doing. Let go of the outcomes. And realize that I always have a choice to do something different. I do not have to stay stuck like a deer in the headlights of life. And here's several other quotes that inspire me to pursue my genius. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that. But the really great make you feel that you too can become great. You were born to win. Actually, that last quote is by Mark Twain. Next quote, you were born to win, but to be a winner, you must plan to win and expect to win, by Zig Ziglar. Next quote, ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do. Attitude determines how well you do it, by Lou Holtz. Next quote, success is where preparation and opportunity meet, by Bobby Unser. Dreams do not vanish so long as people do not abandon them, by Phantom F. Harlock. Do what you love, know your own bone, gnaw at it, bury it, unearth it, and gnaw it still, by Henry David Thoreau. Next quote, sometimes adversity is what you need in order to face or in order to become successful, by Zig Ziglar. Again, sometimes adversity is what you need in order to become successful. Again, by Zig Ziglar. Next quote, don't give up at halftime. Concentrate on winning in the second half, Paul Bryant. Next quote, courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something is more important than fear, Ambrose Redmond. Follow your dreams, believe in yourself, and don't give up, by Rachel Corrie. Next quote, the most common way people give away their power is thinking they don't have any, by Alice Walker. Next quote, if you want light to come into your life, you need to stand where it is shining, by Guy Finley. Next quote, you are the only person on earth who can use your ability, by Zig Ziglar. Next quote, the only impossible journey is the one you never begin, by Tony Robbins. Next quote, when setting out on a journey, do not seek the advice of someone who has never left home, by Rumi. Next quote, not everyone will understand your journey. That's okay. You're here to live your life, not to make everyone understand, by Bansky. Next quote, believe in yourself. Go after your dreams and don't let anyone put you in a box, by Dea. Next quote, you may be the only person who believes in you, but it's enough. It just takes one star to pierce a universe of darkness. Never give up, by Rochelle E. Goodrich. Next quote, if you change the way you tell your story, you can change the color and create a life in Technicolor, by Isabel Allende, Allende. Next quote, create your own visual style. Let it be unique to yourself and yet identifiable to others. Again, create your own visual style. Let it be unique. for yourself and yet identifiable to others, by Orson Welles. Here's a quote that I really like. And again, it just points out that we don't have to do everything. We don't know how to do everything well. We can just learn how to do one thing very well, one thing at a time, and then go forward, move forward. Here's the quote: I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do something I can do, by Helen Keller. So learning how to be confident in ways that work for us as we create our genius. And this next section that I'm going to read is a definition and explanation of confidence from Wikipedia. So confidence is a state of being clear-headed, either that a hypothesis or a prediction is correct, or that a chosen course of action is the best and most effective. Confidence comes from a Latin word, fidere, F-I-D-E-R-E, which means to trust. Therefore, having self-confidence is having trust in oneself. Arrogance or hubris, in comparison, is a state of having unmerited confidence, believing something or someone is correct or capable when evidence or reason for this belief are lacking. Overconfidence or presumptuousness is excessive belief in someone or something succeeding without any regard for failure. Confidence can be a self-fulfilling prophecy, as those without it may fail or not try because they lack it, and those with it may succeed because they have it rather than because of an innate ability. So we develop confidence, we develop our skills, we develop our abilities as we go along. Confidence is something that we develop as we go along through our abilities, talents, and gifts. The concept of self-confidence is commonly defined as self-assurance in one's personal judgment, ability, power, etc. One's self-confidence increases as a result of experiences of having satisfactorily completed particular activities. Self-confidence involves a positive belief that in the future one can generally accomplish what one wishes to do. Self-confidence is not the same as self-esteem, which is an evaluation of one's worth, whereas self-confidence is more specifically trust in one's ability to achieve some goal, which one meta-analysis suggested is similar to generalization of self-efficacy. So as we advocate for ourselves, we develop confidence to our gifts, talents, and abilities, a little at a time, one day at a time. Abraham Maslow and many others after him have emphasized the need to distinguish between self-confidence as a generalized personality characteristics, and self-confidence with respect to a specific task, ability, or challenge, i.e. self-efficacy. Self-confidence typically refers to general self-confidence. This is different from self-efficacy, which psychologist Albert Bandura has defined as a belief in one's ability to succeed in specific situations or accomplish a task, and therefore is the term that more accurately refers to specific self-confidence. Psychologists have long noted that a person can possess self-confidence that he or she can complete a specific task and be self-efficient or advocate for oneself. Each examples, cook a good meal or write a good novel, even though they may lack confidence they may lack general confidence, or conversely be self-confident through the self-efficacy to achieve particular tasks, to write a novel. These two types of self-confidence, however, correlate with each other, and for this reason can be easily conflated. What this basically means to me is that we may be able to do one thing very well, but not be able to do other things. That doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have to have confidence in ourselves and our abilities. We can focus on what we're able to do rather than focus on what we're not able to do. As with me, I was not able to work in traditional employment, so I did not have a lot of confidence in my abilities to work in employment. But I've developed confidence in my abilities to create a website and to develop my articles, video presentations, my ebooks, my posters, and my abilities to neuroplasticity. This is the end of the video presentation. I want to thank you again, and I encourage you, please do not give up on yourself, and use this article as a way to motivate yourself to develop your own genius, to look for ways that will work for you. Maybe they don't work for anybody else, but they'll work for you. So keep looking and keep searching. As I shared in my two-part backstory of Second Chance to Live, it took me 7 years after I obtained, I became disabled. Whereas after my second vocational evaluation, I was deemed to be unemployable. And after my third application with the Social Security Administration, I began receiving SSDI. But I'm glad that I did not give up, but that I kept moving forward, that I kept looking for ways that will work for me, through writing poems, through writing an autobiography, through writing a book I could not get published, and then through a friend who encouraged me to begin my blogs, telling me that my material would be right for a blog. And that's how I began Second Chance to Live on February 6, 2007. Well, this is the end of the video presentation. I really want to thank you again for being here. Please subscribe to my channel, as I have 442 video presentations that I've created, and I've created a playlist. And tell your friends about Second Chance to Live, my website at secondchancetolive.org, as well as here on YouTube through my YouTube channel. I'll say so long for now. Have a great day, and God bless both you and your family. Thank you again for your time. Bye now.